It's Ash from Super Videos back for another video for The Walking Dead. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at some new photos that were recently released, some promo photos for Season 9 of The Walking Dead. Most of these are most likely for the premiere episode 901, but there could be some images here that may not necessarily be for the first episode. So that said, let's jump right into these pictures. The first picture we're going to look at is this picture of Father Gabriel. A pretty cool portrait shot of Father Gabriel. Nothing we can really say. The two things that kind of jump at you is the new look that Father Gabriel has with the hat and everything, and also his glass eye. Of course, after he got sick in season 8, he lost his vision, and so that's why his eyes look like that. Next, we have this portrait shot of Michonne. Then we have this very, very interesting picture of Rick, Ezekiel, Carol, and Eugene. Now, two things. One is that this is at the sanctuary. This is inside the factory area at the sanctuary. And this image is most likely related to the scene from the trailer that we got where Rick was telling the Saviors that he is there to provide them with whatever the sanctuary needs to get them back on track. Now, the second thing that I really want to talk about that's very interesting is Eugene. It looks like he is ripped in this photo. It might just be the photo, but maybe he's working out. Maybe we're going to see a different type of Eugene in this season, which is very interesting. And they may very well be following Eugene's storyline from the comics in terms of his relationship with another character. I won't reveal that here, but with another character. And that could possibly also reveal or give us a hint about that other character possibly getting her comic death in this season. For comic readers, you probably know what I mean. Non-comic readers, if I say anything more, I'll just spoil things for you, so I'll just leave it at that. But Eugene is definitely one character that we should keep our eyes open for, and the way he looks in this photo definitely gets me interested in what they're going to do with his character in this season. Also, he has his own gun now in the holster that he's carrying around. That's very interesting as well. Next, we have this interesting shot of Rosita spray painting something on this sign that says welcome to something county. I don't know exactly what that name is in the middle, but it's just a sign. It probably doesn't mean anything, but what is Rosita spray painting on there? It's obviously not just a bee. It's probably something starting with a B, but it's interesting. It definitely reminds me of the Terminus storyline and these signs that were spray painted or written on different signs with mud. But I don't know what exactly she's spray painting on there. Could be something very significant. Could be something that's not going to be focused on in the season anyway, but definitely something to keep our eyes open for. Next, we have this image of Maggie and other hilltoppers at the hilltop. We even have Alden, the savior, in the background. Now, we did see a couple scenes in the trailer where it was basically this scene that we see in this image playing out, and it looks like it's some sort of execution ritual or something like that. Comic readers will probably have an idea about who might be getting executed. I won't go into that here, so I won't spoil it for anyone, but this definitely seems to be that scene from the comics in terms of someone getting executed coming to life, which is definitely something I'm very excited for. Next, we have this image of Maggie talking to Michonne. The only thing I want to point out in this image is the bruise on Maggie's face, definitely connected to the previous photo in terms of what led to that moment or what led to that decision to execute a specific character that I won't name here. Next, we have this photo of some of the characters inside the main building that is most likely supposed to be in Washington, D.C. Might be a museum, might be something similar, but if you remember, they do get the wagon down from the stairs that we see in the background in this same exact location, which takes us to this photo, which is the exact same thing I talked about, everyone trying to get the wagon down. Next, we have this very interesting shot of some savior putting a knife on Carol's throat. Obviously, she's gonna make it. We know they're not going to kill Carol. If they were, they wouldn't show this here in the trailer. But definitely also images of it. Interested to see who kills the savior, because I'm sure someone's going to kill the savior and save Carol. So I'm very interested not only at what led to this, having Carol hostage, or at knife point, and also who's gonna come to the rescue. Next, we have this very cool and interesting shot of Carol and Ezekiel getting pretty close. Of course, they did reveal that Ezekiel and Carol are together. That's what we're gonna see in this season. More bonding between Carol and Ezekiel, and most likely a relationship between the two. And this is, of course, at the sanctuary, as we see in the background, the building. Next, we have this pretty cool shot of Daryl, Michonne, and Rick. I think this is at Hilltop, but I could be wrong about that. This pretty cool looking shot of Jerry and Ezekiel. Again, this is at the sanctuary because of the building in the back. Next, we have this shot of them on the road, most likely going to Washington, D.C. We have Rick, Michonne, and Tara on horses, and everybody else on the wagons. Now that I think of it, that wagon that they were getting might actually be the same one that they have here. So this might actually be them on their way back. Because, again, I do believe that the wagon that they get is... the location of it is in Washington, D.C. So I don't think that they had the wagon going to Washington, D.C. I definitely think that they got it while coming back. So this is most likely them on their way back. Next, we have this shot of Daryl. Nothing else to really say about this. Again, this is them on the road. Next, we have this interesting photo of Jadis talking to someone on the walkie, and also the helicopter in the back. One other thing that I'm very excited for to see this season is what the deal is with the helicopter and what the storyline is that's related to the helicopter. But one thing I do want to say, if you pay attention, you do see an A on the helicopter. There's been a lot of instances of A's, so may not mean anything, may just be them just putting an A on something because they have nothing better to put. But other than that, there is a symbol with 3 circles on the helicopter. And the same exact type of symbol was on the can that Jadis was eating back in season 8, was it? And the showrunner, Angela Kang, did an interview saying that there's a significance to the symbol. And we will learn that significance later on this season, which is definitely exciting, and I'm definitely interested to see what the storyline is for the helicopter and what the significance of the symbol is. Next, we have this shot of Michonne, Rick, and Judith. They're in the middle of this field, most likely from the same scene from the trailer where they're basically bird watching. Next, we have this sign, "Saviors save us, we are still Negan." Of course, this is at the sanctuary. Some saviors have written that. A clue that maybe not all saviors are in favor of things the way they are right now and may want to go back to the way Negan was running things. Next, we have this scarecrow of some sorts. We have Laura and Ara putting the walker on display as a scarecrow, basically to scare the crow away. Next, we have this image that's coming from the trailer, actually. It's not a new image that was released, but a few things I want to point out. Angela Kang did an interview, like I said, and there's a few things she pointed out with this image, which is very interesting. One is that it is, in fact, Lucille that Michonne is holding, and it is bloody. That's interesting. Don't know what to make out of that. But the other thing is that Michonne has a piece of Carl's clothing wrapped around her head as a way to keep him close to her. That's very interesting. I didn't notice that. I don't think anyone would have if she didn't come out and say, but definitely interesting. I wonder if there's more things like that this season. And that's the last photo. So that's basically everything that I wanted to share. Some pretty interesting pictures, some great storylines that we might potentially see this season that I'm very excited for. But overall, definitely hyped for this season. Definitely excited for what's to come and, what they're going to do with the new storylines that are going to be introduced. Not really looking forward to seeing Rick's demise or Rick leaving or whatever. Alright, as I was editing this, I realized that I was just rambling on about Rick's death, but we've been basically beating a dead horse at this point, so I'll just skip all of that and end this video here. It is what it is. There's nothing that we can do, really, so let's just hope for the best. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video. If you like what you see, press like, subscribe for more content, and press the bell button to receive notifications for future uploads. Like the Facebook page of this channel to join our Walking Dead community. Join us live every Friday night at 6 p.m. Mountain Time for a Q&A session. See you all there.